On April 29, 2025, Maine Switching Services made the announcement that they will be running the Rockland Branch as the Cumberland and Knox Railroad. The line was last used in spring of 2024 after the major shipper on the line, Dragon Cement Products, closed up and idled their plant. Unfortunately, what this meant was that the rail operator, Midcoast RailService, was then losing about 90% of their traffic. With the main customer gone and their passenger excursion trains plans not working without the freight operation, they pulled out of Maine. This left the state-owned rail line unused but also available. The state soon started the process to find a new rail operator. MaineDOT put out a request for proposals and in January 2025 chose Maine Switching Services to operate the line. In April 2025, Maine Switching announced that they will operate the line as the Cumberland and Knox Railroad. Their press release has the details. The Cumberland and Knox Railroad, CKRR, under Maine Switching Services, has officially signed the final draft of the 56.6-mile Rockland Branch lease agreement from the State Department of Transportation. Operations will commence immediately, with CKRR activating signaling systems for freight service to begin. Founded in 2020, Maine Switching Services is a multifaceted railroad services provider. Based in Unity, Maine, MSS provides railcar switching for paper mills in Maine, as well as locomotive and railcar repairs in Unity. In addition, MSS currently operates trains on the state-owned Belfast and Moosehead Lake Railroad corridor. In December of 2024, Dragon Cement Products announced it was going to be acquired by Heidelberg Materials North America. This puts the plant in a different situation, a potentially more positive one. While details are limited, it also makes it a rail customer again. We found that out when reading the press release put out by the new Cumberland and Knox Railroad. It reads as follows: CKRR is pleased to announce that through ongoing collaboration, Dragon Cement Products of Thomaston, Maine will resume freight service utilizing the Rockland Branch. This move comes as Heidelberg Materials closes on its acquisition of the Thomaston property and continues to evaluate the facility's strategic importance. CKRR is additionally meeting with other former freight customers on the corridor to find ways of making their businesses succeed utilizing rail. Previously, Dragon Products would ship out cement by rail and barge. This includes the cement that traveled over the briefly reactivated Bay Colony Railroad Millis line in Massachusetts. In 2022, 15 carloads of Dragon cement were transloaded in Millis for a local customer, but Class 1 rates and routing put an end to that before more carloads were shipped. I documented those moves, and they turned out to be some of my most popular videos. The links to those are in the video description. Perhaps we'll be able to see that operation return with the new ownership of the cement plant. Coincidentally, Bay Colony Railroad has new ownership in the form of Mass Coastal Railroad. They have yet to run trains on the Millis line, but took over regular operations on the Bay Colony Watuppa branch in 2023. Back to the Rockland Branch, CKRR is also looking at passenger rail services. Quoting their press release, it is the continued goal of CKRR to offer passenger rail services on the Rockland Branch. CKRR is open to collaborating with the Northern New England Passenger Rail Authority on future passenger rail projects. Separate from NNEPRA, CKRR is currently determining the best means of commencing excursion rail operations, including what equipment will be used, where stations may be located, and when it will be most practical to commence any excursion passenger rail. It is an exciting time for rail in Maine, and I hope to document the reactivated rail line in action later this year. Stay tuned for future updates and videos on the new Cumberland and Knox Railroad in the future.